I'm Susan Reynolds, 59, from Spokane, Washington. The rain pounded as my son, Derek, 33, drove me down a rural highway, 50 miles from home. We'd been arguing. His wife, Jenna, wanted me to sell my house to fund their startup. I'd refused, my savings already drained from years of bailing Derek out. "You're selfish, Mom," he snapped, pulling over on a desolate road. "Get out." "You need a lesson." I stared, stunned, as he tossed my purse into the mud. "Derek, it's pouring," I pleaded. He sped off, leaving me soaked, shivering, alone. I'd raised him single-handedly, working double shifts as a librarian to afford his college. Now, this betrayal. Rain blurred my tears, but my resolve hardened. I grabbed my purse, finding my phone still worked. No signal. I walked, rain-soaked, until a trucker, Mike, stopped. "You okay, ma'am?" he asked, offering a ride to a gas station. There, I called my friend Carol, a retired cop. "Derek did what?" she gasped, picking me up. At her house, I dried off, my anger growing. Derek thought I'd break, that I'd sell to appease him. He didn't know I'd learned grit from years of budget cuts and late-night study sessions. Carol checked Derek's startup online, Reynolds Tech, a vague app venture with no revenue but flashy promises. "He's desperate," she said. I nodded, recalling Jenna's pushy texts about family investment. My house, paid off after 25 years, was their target. I wasn't just a mom, I was a survivor. Cancer, divorce, Derek's rebellions. Carol handed me a recorder. "Get proof," she said. I planned to confront him, but not yet. First, I needed evidence of their scheme. Back home, I found a letter from a bank demanding my signature for a loan Derek had applied for, using my house as collateral. My name was forged. My hands shook, but my librarian's precision took over. Document, analyze, act. Derek thought he'd taught me a lesson in the rain. He'd learn I was no pushover. I called my old colleague Rachel, a fraud expert. "This is war," she said. "My son had abandoned me, but I'd fight back, not just for me, but for my home." Carol's living room became my command center, her coffee table littered with notes and my forged loan documents. Rachel arrived, laptop open, diving into Reynolds Tech's filings. "It's a shell," she said, showing me records of zero profits and $200,000 in debts, all tied to Derek and Jenna. The loan, $300,000, listed my house as collateral without my consent. "They forged your signature to secure it," Rachel said, pointing to discrepancies in the bank's records. My heart sank. Derek, my only child, had used my trust to scam me. I'd bandaged his scraped knees, paid for his coding boot camp, and now this. Jenna's influence was clear. Her emails, found on Derek's old tablet in my attic, bragged about flipping Mom's house for startup cash. One read, "She'll cave after a scare." The rain was no accident. It was their plan to break me. I saved the emails to a USB, my hands steady despite the hurt. Rachel traced the bank to a shady lender, Pinnacle Finance. Known for predatory loans, Jenna's name appeared on their advisory board, a conflict of interest. "This is fraud," Rachel said. I nodded, my librarian's mind cataloging every detail. Carol suggested checking Derek's social media. His posts showed lavish dinners and a new SUV, captioned "Big moves coming." My savings had funded their lies. I called my neighbor, Tom, a retired accountant, who reviewed the loan papers. "They rushed this," he said. "The bank didn't verify your signature." Sloppy, but deliberate. Derek and Jenna thought I'd crumble, too old to fight. They didn't know I'd faced down library board cuts and won. Rachel connected me with a lawyer, Laura, who specialized in elder fraud. "We'll freeze the loan and file charges," she said, reviewing the emails. I wanted more. A public reckoning. Derek's lesson in the rain was meant to scare me silent. Instead, it lit a fire. I planned to confront him at home, recorder ready, with Laura and Rachel backing me. Carol taught me to hide the recorder in a brooch. "Make him talk," she said. I looked at a photo of Derek as a boy, my heart aching. He'd left me in the rain, but I'd leave him with the truth. My fight was just beginning. Laura's office was a haven of legal books and calm. She drafted an injunction to freeze the $300,000 loan, citing the forged signature. "We've got enough for fraud charges," she said, holding my USB of Derek's emails. I nodded, but I wanted Derek and Jenna to face their betrayal head-on. Carol suggested a sting. Invite them over, record Derek admitting the fraud, legal in Washington's one-party consent law. I bought a small recorder, hiding it in a brooch. Rachel dug deeper, finding Pinnacle Finance's loan tied to a real estate flip Jenna planned in Seattle. My house was the down payment. "They're betting you won't fight," Rachel said. I smiled grimly. They didn't know I'd spent years researching obscure texts, outlasting skeptics. I called Tom, who found a whistleblower, Mia, a former Pinnacle clerk fired for questioning irregular loans. Mia met me at a diner, nervous but angry. "Jenna pushed your loan through," she said, handing me internal memos. "They knew it was forged." I recorded her voice clear. My plan took shape. Confront Derek and Jenna at dinner, serve the injunction, and leak the story to a local news blog run by my friend Claire. I'd play the shaken mom until the moment I struck. Back home, I found a text from Derek. "Sorry about the drive, Mom. Let's talk," I replied. "Come for dinner tomorrow." He thought I was weak, softened by his apology. Jenna's emails showed her laughing. She'll sign after a little guilt. I ironed my dress, practiced my lines, my librarian's calm masking fury. Tom and Carol prepped the house, hiding a backup recorder in a lamp. Laura filed the injunction, and Claire agreed to publish the story post-confrontation. Sophie's courage inspired me. She'd begged me to leave the airport in another betrayal. But this was personal. I wasn't just saving my house. I was teaching Derek that betrayal had consequences. My father, a trucker, taught me to keep moving, no matter the storm. The rain had soaked me, but it hadn't drowned me. Dinner was set. My brooch was pinned, my evidence ready. Derek and Jenna thought they taught me a lesson. They'd learn I was the one teaching, and my lesson would hit harder than any storm. Derek and Jenna sat at my dining table, their smiles forced. I served chili, my brooch recorder humming. Tom, my neighbor, joined us, his presence a quiet anchor. "Let's clear the air," I said, setting the forged loan papers down. Derek's eyes widened. "Mom, that's nothing," he said, laughing nervously. Jenna sipped her water, avoiding my gaze. "Nothing?" I asked, voice steady. "You left me in the rain, 50 miles out, to scare me into signing this." I tapped the papers. Derek shifted. "You're blowing this out of proportion." Jenna smirked. "You're fine, Susan." It was just a drive. I pulled out my phone, playing Mia's recorded testimony. Jenna knew the signature was forged. Their faces froze. "You spied on us?" Derek snapped. I leaned in. "You stole my house." Jenna scoffed. "You're too old to need it." The recorder caught every word. Tom cleared his throat. "You drained Sophie's college fund too." Derek's jaw tightened. "That's our money." I slid Laura's injunction across the table. Not anymore. The loan's frozen. The DA's reviewing fraud charges. Jenna stood, knocking over her chair. You can't prove anything. I played their email audio. She'll cave after a scare. Derek's face crumpled. Mom, I was desperate, he pleaded. The startup failed. Jenna hissed, shut up. But it was too late. I called Claire, who arrived with a news van. Outside, I spoke to her camera. My son and his wife tried to steal my home. I'm fighting back, neighbors gathered, murmuring support. Derek begged, Mom, don't do this. I looked at him. The boy I'd raised gone. You taught me a lesson, Derek. Now learn yours, Jenna stormed out, Derek trailing. Laura served the cease and desist as cameras rolled. The next day, Claire's blog ran the story. Son abandons mom in rain for fraud scheme. Pinnacle's loan was voided. The DA charged Derek and Jenna with forgery. My house was safe. Tom raised a glass at my kitchen table. You're a fighter, Susan. I smiled, my heart heavy, but strong. They'd left me in the rain to break me. Instead, I'd broken their lies, proving a librarian could outsmart a storm. Claire's story went viral. Spokane mom fights son's $300,000 fraud. Derek and Jenna face trial. Their startup exposed as a front for real estate scams. The DA secured convictions for forgery and fraud. Jenna got 2 years, Derek probation and restitution. My house remained mine, the title locked tight. I sat in my library office surrounded by books, Sophie's photo on my desk. Her courage in another betrayal echoing mine. I didn't celebrate. Derek was my son, once my pride. I'd bandaged his hurts, cheered his dreams, but he'd chosen greed. Jenna's influence didn't excuse him. I kept one picture of him, young and smiling, but boxed the rest. The community rallied, librarians, neighbors, even patrons, donating to a fund for my legal fees. I started a workshop, Seniors Against Scams, teaching others to spot fraud. Check every paper, I told them, my voice steady from years of guiding readers. Claire's blog grew, and she credited me. Susan's a hero. I shrugged. I was just a mom who refused to drown. Tom helped me repaint the house, a fresh start. Sophie, now with her aunt, sent me a letter. You're my hero, Grandma. I cried, framing it. Months later, Derek showed up gaunt at my door. I'm sorry, Mom, he said, eyes down. I didn't invite him in. Pay Sophie's fund back, I said. Then we'll talk. He nodded, leaving a check, $5,000, a start. I didn't forgive yet, but I kept the door cracked. Jenna cut contact, her name toxic, in Spokane. I walked my neighborhood, rain soft now, not a threat. My library hosted a fraud awareness event, packed with seniors. I spoke. They thought I'd break in the rain. I didn't. Applause echoed. Rachel and Carol joined me afterward, toasting with coffee. You rewrote the story, Rachel said. I nodded, my heart lighter. Derek's lesson was meant to crush me, but it forged me. My home stood, my spirit stronger. I looked at Spokane's hills, raindrops sparkling. They'd left me stranded, thinking I'd fail. Instead, I'd built a legacy of resilience, teaching others to stand firm. I wasn't just Susan, the librarian. I was the woman who turned a storm into strength, and I'd never be left behind again. Thank you so much for watching this story till the end. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe even learned something from it. If you'd like to hear more stories like this, full of life lessons, drama, and emotions, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss an update. Your support means the world, and it helps me keep bringing you more inspiring and unforgettable stories. Stay tuned because more amazing stories are on the way.